Okay. Sorry, there's just hair on it. um, oop, wrong one. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Grumpy's Gaming Garage. I am your host, CJ Baker. If you want to find me on social media, you can find me on Tumblr and Discord. I go by Grumpy Kerber. That information is in the description. I am excited to play this game today. Now, RPGs, role-playing games. You probably grew up with Final Fantasy, Diablo, Chrono Trigger, Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate. You know, games that have that RPG side of them. Make sure all the audio is good. This game is pure nostalgia. For me, at least. And if you haven't realized it, welcome to another Let's Play. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a Let's Play of this. Now, I should give context. I want to give a special shout out, first of all, to two very specific individuals on YouTube. Ragnamune and Masked Nightmare. These two individuals originally did Let's Plays of this game, both the PlayStation version and the PC version. Obviously, today I'm playing the PlayStation version. I do want to thank them because about 10 years ago, I attempted a Let's Play of this game. Consider this the Redux. I can now finally do a proper Let's Play with the right equipment, with everything I need, and the audio is balanced and it doesn't sound like shit. Whew. But, this game, this is pure nostalgia. When it comes to role-playing games and RPGs, we all grew up with our favorites. This is mine. This is mine. I remember being like 4 years old because my sister used to have this game. Because we used to have an original PlayStation. Long story short, I kind of broke it. But I used to love watching her play the game, and I loved the game itself. And over the years, this has become like the game, the video game that I know the most. I will preface by saying this game is broken, especially the PlayStation version. I should do a few settings. Oh, in case if you haven't realized it, hold on one second. Oh, come on. There we go. Shit, sorry. Come on. Okay, that's better. This game is broken. This is a very broken game. I'm going to be doing a playthrough. Brand new character, just for the heck of it. There are so many things, like, I have a reason to talk, because all I'm going to say is that get ready for the next few hours. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, because I really know this game inside and out. When I get to the end, though, I will do some exhibitions, showcase some other things. I did a video years ago, if you go back on my channel, where I broke the game. And I have a character in this game on my PlayStation 3. I'm playing this off of my PS2 because I'll explain it in a second. And I broke the character like thousands into the stat points for things and like way overpowered. Good equipment too. I'll showcase that, but like I said, I did a video years ago. If you go back on my channel and check it out, I do apologize though because it's tilted because I recorded it off my phone and didn't save it right. So you kind of have to tilt your head a little bit to watch it, and I do apologize for that. This is like years ago. Things have changed. But now, I want to actually get to this game because I love this game so fucking much. Content warning, there will be language. So I had 2 characters already set. This is my main one that I have here, which is appropriately named. There's a reason why I have a file, because I'm using an actual PS1 memory card, which is why I can see the files and stuff. I'm playing on the original PS2 from the PlayStation 1 original disc. Not using emulation. I'm not playing this on a computer. I'm using original hardware. However, there is one thing about this game that's a bit broken. So, naturally, the PlayStation 3 has backwards compatibility with most PlayStation 1 games. There are some games that are backwards compatible on the PlayStation 3 where you can play PS1 games, and there might be some weird bugs, other exploits and problems or stuff like that. Not a lot of games, but there are a significant number of games. Darkstone has one that I had read this in an online article years ago. I do believe it because I spent way too many fucking hours trying. You cannot play this game on the PlayStation 3. I mean, you can. It plays great. It plays very smoothly and stuff like that. If you notice in the very beginning, I had changed the speed to fast, the disc speed to fast, because you could do that. And, yeah, you can't play this on PS3 for one major problem. Supposedly, there is a bug, and your experience bar glitches out really, really badly. But you could still level up. However, it's different in terms of leveling up in the later levels, because you can only go up to level 60 in this game, by the way. 60 is the max. If you play on PlayStation 3, I noticed by around level 46, level 47, the experience bar glitches out. You'll see like the yellow bar like across the whole screen or whatever. And it kind of does like a thing where you'll see the experience bar gain, but then the experience bar bugs out. You're still gaining experience. It still counts. It just takes a hell of a lot longer to level up. On my PlayStation 3, I have an assassin character that's at level 58. I spent way too many hours grinding to get it up that far. You can't max out your character if you play this game on PlayStation 3. That's the gist. However, on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, I'm pretty sure you can. From what I've read, like I said, I read this in an online article years ago. It was specifically if you played this game on PlayStation 3. Because the PS2 still uses enough of the original PlayStation hardware, so I'm pretty sure that's why it's more compatible. So I think if you played this game on PlayStation 2 or the original PS1, which is arguably the best way to do it, you'll be able to max out your character. But enough of the rambling. I'm playing on PS2. This character with I'm trying it again. I want to get this character maxed to level 60. I have played all the game modes except for Legendary mode, which you're going to see in a hot second. First, let's actually create our character. And you got male and female. You got 4 different classes. You got your warriors, you got your wizards, you got your assassins, and you got your monks. If you really want to break this game, I promise The assassin is the best character. I've already beaten this game. If you see the little square button by these characters, alternative skins. And that's unlocked after you only beat the game the first time. That's it. If you play the other game modes, you don't unlock anything at the end. Everything is unlocked right away after you play the game the first time. So assassin is the best character. These two are the best. The characters are broken. They're broken, but in a good way. Especially when you level them up more. Oh, they break. I know there's a lot of people. That play this game. Shout out to all those people who grew up with this shit. Who grew up on this game. I can understand the argument with the wizard and the sorceress, the spells, using magic. Yes, I can agree these characters are broken as well. However, they only become good if you really, experience grind the character. It's only good for if you really experience grind and get your magic up high enough to be able to learn the spells that you need to, and then you break the character. But naturally, I gotta play as the assassin because this is the one that I've always played. And for this playthrough, alternative skin. One at a time. You can't hold the button and then have it scroll. It's one at a time. But hey, at least they give you the option of uppercase and lowercase letters. Oh, and 8 characters max, by the way. So there are 5 difficulty modes. The only one I have never played is Legend mode. If you really take the time and you play on the more original hardware, you can get your character to level 60, like I say. From what I remember watching Mass Nightmare's playthrough, because he did a playthrough of all of the game modes, and he just ended up using Game Shark for Legend mode to be able to play that difficulty. And I don't have Game Shark, sadly. I'd use it, but I don't have it. I want to work hard. I want to grind. I want to actually get the grind. But all we can do is novice mode. Very easy, straightforward, to the point. That's just an extra. That one I'm saved on for experience grinding. Let's go.
Drak is back. His own brothers, the disciples of Caliban, the ones who banished him, will they know how to quench his thirst for power and revenge?
I'm trying to remember from memory, but here's the plot of the game. Drak, who is a former disciple of Caliban, and I'm hoping I get this right. Drak, who is a former disciple of Caliban, managed to get their hands on the astral hand, which gives them the power to turn into a dragon. Something about with betrayal, and it's up to you, the player character, to collect the 7 crystals. There are crystals you have to collect, and there are 7 in total, to reconstruct the time orb, because Drak has this ability to immediately regenerate health if you get his health down to 50%. Find the 7 crystals. A character will Sebastian, who's I guess you could say like the narrator, but he's like the one that guides you through the game effectively. Find the 7 crystals. He reconstructs the time orb, which will prevent Drak from re-healing himself, so you'll actually be able to defeat him. That's the plot of the game. You gotta find the 7 crystals. So welcome to town. And as you can see, alternative skin. It's nice and green instead of brown. Kind of almost looks like a zombie, but hey, and it's PlayStation 1. Now, we have our skills. Now each character has different skills and stuff, but I'm gonna focus on the assassin character specifically, because I love this character. You got identification. You can identify items. Trade is effectful because you can buy less and sell more. Or buy for less, sell for more. Perception and silence basically affects enemy perceptions of you. I mean, silence is used for like sneaking around enemies, but there's not really a good stealth mechanic with this game. You can walk if you just slightly hold the analog stick, but that's it. It really doesn't affect enemies that much. Even if they're like halfway across the screen, halfway across your screen, they can still see you even if you're subtly walking. I know if you level it up, it's less likely, but it really isn't that effective. Thief is a good skill if you're playing on PC. And this is the thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to be going through a series of compare and contrasts. I have played both the PC version and this version. I love this game. I have beaten both PC and PlayStation. I've experienced stuff. I've played around a hell of a lot. Now we get to compare and contrast. So you have these townsfolk. On the PC version, you can steal from them. On PlayStation, you can't. It's only restricted to enemies. And sometimes the items are good. They're mostly they're special items, but they're shitty special items. Diffusing is basically like if you were to use the mage, you use telekinesis to open up a trap chest or whatever. And perception also helps you identify, trap chests and barrels and stuff like that. That's what perception is. I do apologize. And then there's learning. So the one thing I learned with learning is, I don't know if this works, but the theory is if you don't upgrade your learning skill, you gain experience faster. What the game manual tells you is that, I don't even know if it's the manual that tells you, but from what has been said with the learning skill is you garner extra experience for each kill you make as you upgrade. So if I were to upgrade this to level 1, every kill would be an extra 1% experience, and each of these can be upgraded all the way up to 10. That's from what I've heard, but I've noticed the mechanic doesn't really work right. Like, the PC version, you don't upgrade it and you gain experience faster. And on the PlayStation version, I don't notice anything. I never noticed anything. If there's anybody who's played this game, and I'm speaking to all the people, all the fans of this game from yesteryear, if you can help me explain what is broken about the learning skill with this game, please let me know. Like, a very clear, descriptive answer would be awesome. Because like I said, I feel like on PC, if you upgrade it, you gain experience more slowly. And then on PlayStation, I never noticed anything. I just think it's broken. And then again, it's a PlayStation port. It's not going to be great. But the best skill to have right out of the gate is identification.
Yes.
That's the best skill to have out of the gate is identification. So, we'll start right out of the gate. We got Gunther the Blacksmith, buy weapons and armor and stuff from him, and sometimes the stuff gets pretty good. When I do the exhibition at the end of this Let's Play, I'll explain how broken Gunther can be. But be on the lookout. We got Madame Irma, or Madame, either pronunciation works. He can heal you, identify stuff, and then there's cursed items in this game that you could equip. Like a lot of RPGs, there's cursed items. Thankfully, with identification, you'll know if they're cursed beforehand. You can go to her to identify stuff if you don't have the skill, and it depends on the character as well. The wizard and the monk classes are the only two that don't have identification, so you have to go here to identify anything. And the monk class is special because they have a certain skill where they can remove cursed items, and it depends on your level of the skill and how far along in the game are you and stuff like that. They have that extra bonus. I'm trying to think. I think the monk class does have identification, if I remember. I think. I know the warrior doesn't. But I thought the monk class did. I might be wrong, but again, it's been a while since I played this game, and because I stayed away, I wasted way too much time trying to grind my character on the other thing. And here's Perry. Food. And yeah, there is a food class in this game. You have to keep yourself fed. Although every item is food, but you got eggs, you got cherries, you got grapes, you got fish, you got whole fucking chickens. You got whole fucking chickens. But thankfully, every character starts you off with an apple. Because an apple a day does keep the doctor away, except when you're given 2 health potions to start. In which you're fine. Then we have Master Elmeric. Yeah, Elmeric. Elmeric, that's how I've always pronounced it. This is where you can buy spells. And spells are very crucial, especially early on in the game. See, there are... trying to think here, what was it? There's at least 4 spells that are crucial for you to get early on. And it doesn't even matter what character you're playing as. For the most part. You need Berserker. You need Magic Door. You need Antidote. And you need Light. Unless if you can tamper with your TV settings, because this game can look pretty dark sometimes. But, you do as you do. Figure out which way is best for you to play with your character. I apologize. I've had a rough sleep last night, so I'm a little bit out of it. But I'm not out of it enough to not play this game. That I can tell you. So, each of these quests, there are 3 different kinds of quests you could get. There is a total of up to 21 different quests, and each playthrough is a randomized choice of 7, and within each of the 7 is one of 3. There are some game-breaking exploits on the PlayStation version depending on the quest. I'm really hoping I can get the 1, but it's all RNG. This is a very, very, very heavily RNG-based game. If you think RNG is bad in other games, no. This is just as bad. In more ways than you realize. But enough about that. Let's actually get to killing some enemies. let's see, almost 9:30. I got at least a good solid hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm gonna be really delving in, because I know back when I originally did the Let's Plays, I broke it up into little bits, and I talked for way too long. So I'm going to focus, and I'm just going to show you exactly what Darkstone is. Thankfully, it's very easy in terms of its controls. You just effectively hold one fucking button, and you don't have to worry about shit. Oh, and real quick, before I start with anything else, I want to address the music of this game. It's fucking awesome. It is fucking awesome. I love the music in this game. You know, with a lot of PlayStation 1 games, you could take your PlayStation 1 disc and put it into a CD player, and you can listen to the game's original soundtrack. Did you know that Darkstone is also one of those video games from the PlayStation that you can put into a CD player and you can listen to the game soundtrack? I implore you that you should. You can find it on YouTube. It is amazing. Very atmospheric. Really good on the bass, especially on some of the tracks. I'm going to sit back, move this thing away from me, and let you just experience. And whenever I get to stuff where I need to explain, or maybe I can give a compare and contrast, I will definitely be doing that. But for now, enjoy Darkstone as you first see it. Yes! This is the quest I was wanting to get. The farm quest. Oh, this quest. I'll make it very simple. New game plus speedrun category. You get this quest, you can beat this game, and I've done this before. I have been able to beat this game, new game plus, less than an hour. And our character said yes to something, and as you can see, that XP bar, the XP logo thing flashing right by the character, leveled up. So, you got your strength, you got your magic, you got your dexterity, and you've got your vitality. Basic strats, your usual RPG stuff. Now, for each character, their caps are different. It depends on their expert skill, basically. So for the assassin, their expert skill is dexterity. When you get these points, other skills you can only gain so much, unfortunately. For the assassin, if I remember correctly, even though it's the only character that does not start out with 5 of something, because both magic and vitality both start at 10, their vitality is the worst. You can only upgrade it to 50 points. You would have to use elixirs, potions, other means to be able to raise that stat. For this character specifically, the vitality cap is 50. The magic cap is 100. The strength cap is 150. And I found out that for your particular skill, for your skilled skill for your specific character, 999. That's the cap. That number I found out very interestingly with the other character that I have, which is also an assassin character, by the way, on my PS3. And I found out through that, and I was like, oh, okay, so it only caps to 999 for your specific skill, Meaning it could be 700 and you level up to like level 56 or something like that. You can still put it into the dexterity. Otherwise, if everything is over, then that XP bar stays there forever and flashes forever. Can't use the points. The only way is to use Potions of Surprise, which can raise some stats, lower other stats, and is a huge wild card. The only way you'd be able to use the points up is if you get one lower than 999. Or at least your skilled skill under 999. But yeah, we got the farm quest. There is a, like I said, there is a huge exploit. And this is what is known with this game, because there's a lot of speedruns, because I've been watching a lot of speedruns recently and getting back into watching stuff like that. And there's a very familiar term that's used in speedrunning called duping, which is effectively copying a very specific item to be able to help progress the game, and like instead of having to find specific things. Like if you gotta like find three, like if you gotta, like say for an example, like you gotta find 3 jewels of something. Like you can just do the first one or something and maybe dupe it, and then you only have to do like 2 out of the 3 or even 1 out of the 3. This game has a bug. But first, I actually do need to level up some of my points. As far as the points are concerned, the first thing I at least have to do is get my dexterity to 30. And then raise the magic. And the magic is very important, because even if yours is not specialized with spells, you need the spells, and you need to upgrade the spells. So that way then not only does it cost less mana, but some of them last longer and other kinds of effects. But yeah, there's a dupe, so I'm not going to spoil it. But there is a crystal that lingers in that area. But you gotta go down to the dungeon and do some stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But I am also going to grind, explore the rest of the map, defeat some enemies, so next few minutes I'm going to focus on experience grinding just a little bit. Oh yeah, one other little quick note I should mention with this game is the respawning. This game's respawn mechanic, it can be pretty bullshit sometimes. At least more so in harder difficulties. But now, like, you could actually roam around the island or the land or whatever, leave, go into a level, or go to one end of the map and come back to the other, and enemies will respawn. It's really good for experience grinding. On the PC version, the enemies, unfortunately, once they're dead, they're dead. I think it's in legend mode or hero mode or something. I think they respawn. I think. And that's only on the PC version. That's not PlayStation. Now, PlayStation, it's just respawn. It's Respawn City. And as you can see with this level, even though there are torches lighting up the level, it's still pretty dark. It's still pretty freaking dark. This is why I said the light spell is gonna be very, very handy. And these things are awesome when they drop books. Oh god, please tell me this is Berserker. Ah, let's go!
Whoa.
Yes! And then there's also scrolls too. If you don't have Magic Door, try to get Magic Door. If you don't have Magic Door, like at this point the goal now is to at least find a Magic Door scroll or the Magic Door book. If you get the book, then you're set for the game. And like I said, they're crucial to get early on because when you go to the shop after like level 5 or level 6, because as you progress through each level, the shopkeeper updates their inventory every so often. Wow, it is so black. It is way too dark. Yeah, the shopkeep does change out their inventory every so often, which is fine. It's good too, because the respawn and stuff. But yeah, once you get to like level 5 or level 6, then there's like a period where they won't sell books, and then they'll sell the next set of books. And when it comes to the books, there's 4 different pages. And after about level 5 or so, they'll stop selling the books for tier 1, and then eventually then they will sell for tier 2, and then the same thing goes in later as you play through the game for tier 3 and tier 4. And then weirdly enough, it gets to a point where then it recycles again. And then, at least for the spell books, for Master Almeric's shop, for the magic shop, is that it will upgrade the books and stuff all the way to 4, and then it'll just reset, even though the other items are accurate like they're supposed to be, like later in the game, you know, powerful items. I do have stats. I need stats. Getting that up to 20. And Strength 5, Vitality 5. Yeah. It's good to have the Vitality up early on, but it's also good. It's definitely one of those games where everything has to stay balanced. At least in the early stages of the game. Then you can get really sporadic with it later on. Oh yeah, I guess I should showcase what Berserker does. Increases your accuracy, increases your defense, and you move faster, and you shoot your weapon faster. Or at least, or your attack speed increases.
Yes.
Thank goodness, at least there's a light scroll. Yeah, and as you can see, it's not much better with the brightness. This is Darkstone is one of those games where you need to be playing this in a dark room. But no, it's gotta be like darker than this. Like this is one of those games where it is better to play this game at night. Because that's just how dark the game is in general. Yeah, when you initially get Berserker, it will increase your accuracy and armor points, or armor points, which is the little shield there right next to the target thing with the experience, with all that stuff. When you first get Berserker, it increases it by 50%, and then every time you upgrade the spell book, certain spells is either last longer or it's more powerful. Especially with the spells that do damage, like Magic Missile and Magic Bomb, Spark, Thunder, Poison Cloud. With Berserker, for every single time you upgrade that spell, it increases those two stats, your armor points and your accuracy, by another 50. Meaning, you could, if you use Berserker, increase everything up to by like 400% or 400 points. It's insane. It really is. Health at the 20. And yeah, let's just throw it into strength. I want to throw it into magic, but wrong button. Oops. This spell book right here. This just made the whole playthrough of your of the game of this. Like, this will make your gameplay a lot easier.
Whoa!
A hell of a lot easier. Because the feeling sucks when your inventory's full, and you're like 3 floors deep, and you don't have a scroll or the spell. I hate that feeling too. That's why you try to find the magic door book immediately, right out of the gate. The sooner you find it, the better. And we found it at level 1. The RNG in this is pretty good so far. This is good. So far, the RNG in this playthrough is working out. I got Berserker, I got Magic Door. It's a good start. Those 2 spells are like the 2 spells you need out of the gate. Antidote is the other one that is the most useful. Reflections is another spell that is also surprisingly useful. Sooner you get that spell, the better. Or at least it depends on the mission you have to do, because there's a certain mission where reflection will help, and other times where, I don't know, it's almost pointless. But we got 2 spell books right here out of the gate. One of them is a book, one of them is a scroll. Is the book good? And the book is reflection. Speaking of reflections,
Whoa!
that will help considerably. But now, the only one I need now is light and antidote. Because those 2 will help considerably. Oh yeah, and I guess I should do another compare and contrast when it comes to the spells. So, the PlayStation version is unique, because there is a spell called Ray of Injury, which is, how would I put it? It's like a fire ring around your character, and if you stand near enemies, they'll take like damage. They'll take fire damage. But I mean, it's okay. trying to focus on killing these skeletons. Can I talk, skeletons? Thank you. There's a spell called Ray of Injury, which is, like I said, it's like an invisible firewall. If you go near enemies, they take fire damage. That spell does not exist in the PC version. Because the PC version, it's the same symbol, which is a skull. But it is instead resurrection. And there's a reason why there's that change, and it does make sense. On the PC version of this game, you can play as 2 different characters. You can have 2 characters at once. Unfortunately, this is PlayStation. This is 1 player only. God, I miss 1 player only games. Everything's got to be online nowadays. It's like, can I just do the online shit by myself? My own little server hub thing? I'm sorry, I'm just ranting. But no, they changed the spell to Resurrection in the PC version. Well, again, the PC version came out first, so it was Resurrection, and then they changed it for the PlayStation version to be like an invisible fire ring. Again, you stand near enemies, they take fire damage, and they're set on fire. It's kind of cool. It's very helpful in the early levels. It's very, very helpful. I know the monk and the priestess start with that spell. On the PC version, they start with Resurrection, which is again same logo, but it's a different spell with different means. Resurrection, if you're playing with 2 characters, 1 character can revive the other. Very beneficial. But because this is 1 player only, they had to change it, and I think it works very well. I kind of wish that the PC version had Ray of Injury in it, like if they retained that spell's mechanics. That would have been really nice. It would have been very helpful, but I think it would have made the spell count to 30. Yeah, it would have made it to 33, because there's 32 spells that you can get in this game, and they kind of had to keep an even number. Yeah, lots of skeletons. If you're using ranged weapons, these skeletons can be a pain in the ass to kill. They're not a pain in the ass to fight. It's just, it's like, come on, just hit, just hit, just hit, just hit. This is why Berserker's good. This is why you get Berserker early on in the game, so your accuracy's already boosted whenever need be, and you can actually fight enemies. And you can fight them a lot easier. Because without Berserker, fighting these skeletons with an assassin this early in the game can be a pain in the ass. Unless you put all your points into your dexterity. And even then, it's still tedious and time consuming. There's a lot of ways that this game can be broken. It's easy, sure. If you know how to break this game is... This game is like a fat fly on a wall that just has not moved. It's not dead, but it hasn't moved. What we got? Okay. Get my magic up to 30. And honestly, at least when you play through the game the first time, that's all you really need is to get it up to 30. If you can get it to 55, it's better. Because the next tier of spell books, you have to have at least 55 magic in order to read them and learn them. However, with 30 magic as it is, I can at least take... not the spells that can do damage, but all the miscellaneous ones. That's why there's a difference between the spell books that looked red and the ones that looked like an orange red, and then the ones that look blue. The blue ones are just extra little skills, like the magic door. You can use teleportation and stuff like that. The red one is the one that is like a stat booster. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they label Berserker as that, but for the first tier, it's Berserker and Magic Missile. Yeah, it is there. Yeah, Berserker and Magic Missile are the ones that are when I get more books, I'll come back to this and explain it a little further. It's a way to keep it distinguished for the books, which is fine. Yeah, now I can focus on this. Okay, now I should actually finally get to the part where, okay, what the heck is this quest that we're doing? So this is what's called the farm quest. So, very appropriately, this ties back into the plot of the game very conveniently. Wow, that's already maxed out. Yeah, okay, so the plot is that you have to get the Caliba's amulet. So you have to go all the way down to level 4, do a trial. There's a monastery in this level in level 3, but we'll come back to it. You got to get the amulet, go through a series of trials to get it. Then you got to go back to level 3, get the Sun Cross, and then give it to that guy that we saw up there in the main land world there. Simple enough. Yeah. Top off the strength at 25. Now I can focus on getting dexterity. But the first thing I really need to do is I gotta go back to town. Gotta sell the loot.
Yes.
I want this weapon so badly, but I don't have the money. Compare and contrast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to introduce to you the most infamous and probably the most broken mechanic of this game. The mace trick. And the best part about it is that you don't even need the trade skill or have it for a character to do it. It's very simple. You see this particular mace here? The silver mace, the little red handle, 2 to 9 damage. It's got a very good durability for a low-level weapon at 50 is very impressive. It's great. You can buy it for 3,045 gold. It's great. It's not bad. However, I don't need this weapon, so I'm going to sell it. Oh? I paid 3,045 for the mace, and now you want to buy it back from me for 3,625? More than what I paid for it? Aww. I hope you enjoy that. It's the most dumbest thing I say all day, and the most broken thing you will ever see in this game.
Yes. Yes.
And the trade skill just makes it even better. Best part about it is if you have a turbo controller, this becomes fun. It's the infinite money glitch. The most infamous trick this game has to offer. And not only can I buy that weapon now, but I can definitely grind on other stuff. First, I will buy that weapon. It was a very nice weapon. Yeah, plus 5 damage points, and it's already 5 to 7. It's so much better than my 2 to 4. Ooh, and I'll even do one more other little tidbit. This game also has an upgrade mechanic. You can upgrade the damage or your armor capacity of whatever at the cost of 1 durability. For the warrior, if you have the repair skill, it works a little differently. Because you can restore your durability based on the level of what the skill is. Like, if it's like a level 6, you can restore up to 6 durability, but at the cost of 1 for your max durability. It's better to just go to the shop, repair it. The skill is useless. But these are upgrading. Damage stats increase by 1 at the cost of 1 durability point. And this mechanic can really becomes this becomes very, very, very useful late in the game, but useful nonetheless. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to focus on getting this mace trick done. I'm going to be spending a couple minutes here doing this, so I got some money. I apologize for the redundant noises in advance. That's the turbo controller. That's why I was going so fast. And that's why the mace trick is the most broken mechanic in this game. It is extremely helpful early on. Very, very helpful. Now, I'm going to get antidote to save my ass later. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to grind enough money, get everything here at least level 2. I'll start my antidote out of the gate. Now, like if I were to, like as I upgrade the antidote, it does nothing. I know there's some spells technically you don't need to upgrade because it just costs more mana or something. But the healing spell is one of them, because it will heal your character. But I think it depending on the level of the skill for healing depends on how much of your overall health it will heal up to. I think. Unless it's a full top off nonetheless, then all you're doing is upgrading the skill to spend more mana points to cast. Like I said, I don't know the whole mechanics thing with it, but oh yeah, another thing too with this game I should notice is that regardless of, again, compare and contrast. So the PlayStation 1 version is very special with how the inventory works, or your bag. And that is, like, for a good example, these are in my belt. If I remove them from the belt, it is now taking up 1 inventory slot. For your character, regardless, you can, there are 20 inventory slots, at least on the PlayStation 1 version. On the PC version, I don't remember the numbers, but it's a grid. And it's sacrificed with, you don't get as many drops from enemies or chests or whatever on the PC version because of that reason, or most of the drops are just like very small, 1x1 things or something like that, or like a 1x2 or something. On the PlayStation version, it's 20 inventory slots. Now, I have my mana potions unbelted. It is now taking up 1. I put it back on my belt. Now there's no inventories. Now there's 0 out of 20 inventory slots being used. That's the benefit of having the belt. And it does not matter 20 of what. If you were like, if I could get 20, I could put 20 shields in my bag, and it could be full, or I could put like 20 different maces in there, and it's the same thing. You could have like a bunch of cloaks and a bunch of like a bunch of scrolls and other items. And it does not matter what size it is. It's still 20 inventory slots nonetheless. Oop. Okay, I did not mean to buy that.
Whoa!
Forgot my turbo button was still on. But no, when it comes to the inventory slots, it does not matter. It's still 20 of whatever. I guess I should get Ray of Injury as well.
Whoa!
Okay, now the turbo button's working really good right now, so I'm going to definitely put all my focus on here for the next few minutes.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, now that I had fun doing that mace trick and showing that off, now we're gonna go back into the dungeons in of itself. Um, Definitely gonna be going through another period of not really talking too much again. If anything compare and contrast comes up, I will definitely come back in for commentary. That letter's gonna come in handy in a little bit because there's gonna be another compare and contrast I'm gonna make at when we get done with this particular quest. like I said, I wasn't kidding when I said this game can be very dark sometimes. You know, now we're actually at the level that we need to be at. Because now we gotta go through a series of trials. And in typical Darkstone RNG map fashion, here's the back door. There's the end. I swear, that's just the soundtrack skipping, that's not the game.
Yeah.
I've had this copy of the game for a very long time. Yeah, like I said, I grew up with this game because my sister had it. That copy was long gone, and then I got another copy like 15 years ago. About 15 years ago. I can't even see in here. It's so dark. Oh, and we got magic missile now. So of all the spells you could give me out of the gate, you couldn't give me light? The one that I actually need to see? If it's karma giving me the testament to say, oh, you can play this game blind. Fine, I'll play it blind then. God. Yeah, something is better than nothing right now. Oh, trust me, when it comes to amulets and stuff, oh, it gets better as the game progresses, but Gotta at least get to 50 dexterity because the next set of weapons is going to be coming up soon. And gotta have at least 50. Ah, and this one has a trick. So, you could either flip the switch over here and kill 2 spiders, or you could kill this guy, kill the head honcho spider that comes out of these little pit holes here, and then still kill the other 2 through this, or you could do all of it at once and just pull the lever the first time. Got your key. Finish off the criminal anyways. Sweet, now we can actually go back up to the last level and get this little tidbit done.
Yes.
Okay. Overburdened. Now, you saw that sun crash drop, and you think, oh, we just got to pick it up, and then we just got to go back to the guy and give it to him, right? Wrong.
Whoa.
Give me a light, because I need that spell. There. Now I got all the spells at tier 1, and I don't have to worry about shit.
Yes.
Nothing. Oh yeah, so there's a reason why we have this letter here. So if you go to Perry, you'll see that there's a thing called sell artifacts. After you get the crystal for the specific quest, any artifacts or whatever that you found that helped you lead to get the crystal in the first place, you could sell it for money. On the PC version, you cannot. They become useless. They're just extra things out there in the world that you can get rid of them. Just dump them somewhere that you're never going to go near and forget about it. Yeah, now let's actually get this quest finished. Yeah, you can pick this up, but I'm not going to pick it up. That is an artifact too. If you give the guy the correct sun cross, then that fake sun cross could still be sold for extra gold. You just gotta know which one's fake and which one's real, because it's the one hidden here in the crypt that's real. That's the real sun cross. Okay. Oh yeah, and the other thing too that's also better on the PlayStation version is fast travel. And it actually just teleports you there. Or at least this game calls it places visited. But as long as there's no enemies nearby, it just teleports you right to the end of the level. I can't answer right now. But no, that's the one. That's like the one real positive thing about this game is the teleportation and stuff like that. Now on PC, if you go to your places visited tab or whatever, and you can try to go to a place, nope, you gotta sit there and watch your character walk all the way there. And as long as there's no enemies that are blocking any doorways, then you're good. Now I'm going to get to the real reason why I like this quest. Because this is my favorite. Of all the first quests you could ever do in a video game, there's a lot of good ones. But this one's my favorite because of the most game-breaking thing. Now, I highly doubt I'm actually going to be able to pull this off. But I'm going to make an attempt anyways. It's better when you have a... Oh, the game is also known for doing that. It'll save. It'll save. It's just being dumb. But, I'm going to attempt to do something. Like I said, I don't think it's going to work. Because my level of the skill is too low. However, this is where the crystal duping officially comes into play. Here's how you do it. If you really want to speed run this game, because you could technically do it. I've done it, and it had been years since I'd done it, but I remember I clocked in a loading time that a runtime that included loading times under 40 minutes. It was like 39 something. I was just doing a stopwatch thing on my phone. But we have this guy. Now, obviously, give him the real Suncross. But there's a very special trick. This is where the crystal duping comes in. Now, there's only one other spot in this game that you could do this. But what we're going to do is you're going to give him the Suncross. He's going to turn into that. As long as you have an assassin or a thief, either or, here's what you can do. If your thief skill is high enough,
Fail. No, no, no.
which in this case it did not work, but you could use the thief skill, and you could steal the first crystal of the game right out of the gate. If you kill him, it drops the crystal, meaning you get 2 for the price of 1. If you steal the crystal from him, save your game, and reload your save, you could theoretically get infinite number of crystals and just keep doing it. With the game, you need 7 to reconstruct the time warp. I have done this. I have reconstructed the time warp with 7 crystals of wisdom. Which is the first crystal of the game. It doesn't count if you have the crystals needed that the game instructs it. As long as you just have 7 crystals, then you take them to the last land, you put them on the little pedestal thing, and the cutscene still plays, and you get the time orb. You could literally create a time orb of nothing but crystal of wisdoms. There's another crystal, I forget the name because there's different names, but the 5th quest area of the game, there is a specific quest where there's another opportunity you could do it, and it's the exact same thing. You use your thief skill, try to steal it from them, and then you could just do save load, and a lot of it's all trial and error. It's RNG. It definitely takes a bit. I think I spent like 15-20 minutes at least just trying to get the trick to work, just trying to get it to work and keep stocking up on crystals. But here's the Sebastian guy. He's the one that gives you the little bit of the lore. And yeah, it's that simple. It's 1 crystal down and 6 to go. Actually, I am going to just go right to town here real quick. You all know what I really am gonna do? Because we got the first crystal. That one's done. And I mainly wanted to just give just a very brief introduction. And I know I rambled, and I do apologize, but I'm a sucker for this game. I love it.
Yeah.
I really do. But hey, now that I got the crystal, I could sell that letter. And it becomes very useful if you're stuck on gold for whatever reason. But mace trick. And again, you don't even need to have the trade skill for your character. You could do this with the wizard. You could do this with the priestess. Because they don't have the trade skill. They can't do the buy low, sell high thing. But you could still do the trick. It takes longer, but it still works. And that's what matters. Is as long as the trick genuinely still works. Hey, it's the exact same weapon that I already have again for some reason. Yeah, the shop RNG is a wild card in of itself. Or at least it can be. I don't need the extra mana. I'll keep the life bonus, but I need the extra armor. Because you can't go wrong with having good armor. No, sir. Ooh, and I'll upgrade Berserk too.
Yes.
So, got our spells upgraded as we need to. Ooh. Alright, here's another cool trick with this game. So, on the PC version, if you find a really cool amulet and you buy it, that's it. It doesn't respawn in the shop. On the PlayStation version, it does. You buy the item, exit the shop, go back to the shop, and hey, look at that, it's there again. And you can just loop this and just get the right items that you need. I will start right out of the gate. The best attribute stuff for the rings and amulets that is required for this game, or at least this is the strategy I came up with. 1 ring and 1 amulet, preferably, or you can mix the rings or have it be both amulets, whatever, has to have at least 50% all resistance, which is what the, if you see on the top of your screen, actually you can't even see it on my end of the screen. Hold on 1 second, I'll show it real quick. As you can see here, there's like that potion, that fireball, and then that magic ball. So those are your resistances. Your resistance to magic, your resistance to fire, your resistance to poison. If those are 100%, if it does any damage, it's like 1, maybe 2 health points. And surprisingly, it's very useful to have the resistances. When I played this game when I was a kid, I didn't really care about that. I just cared about getting my health and my mana as high as I can. And that's still important too. Because that's the other important thing. As long as you have at least 1 amulet and 1 ring or 2 of something, and it's at least 50% all resistance, you're good. The rest of it, dump it into your health, dump it into your mana, whatever. And I know this is going to seem a bit weird for an assassin character to have more mana than health, but when it comes to spell casting, it is very crucial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a little bit more grinding. And then I'm going to do a little more grinding here on stream. And then, excuse me. And then before we start the next land, and I think we're going to wind down. But I'm not wind down yet. So don't leave. Don't you leave. Not yet. Oh, I gotta kind of have to move myself back up here. There we go. But, yeah. The resistances are good. Definitely try to get 100%. And then, at the very least, like, early on in the game, I prefer both health and mana, but we'll see what we can work with here. We'll see what we can work with. Because I need to remove... I don't want to drop it, I just want to remove it. Sell that for a little extra cash. Has 7 to life and 12 to mana. Yeah, 57 health and 60 mana. I got more mana than health. Ah, lovely. At least spells-wise, this will help considerably. gonna do a small little tap off of the gold. The grind. The gold grind. And then what I'm gonna do is off stream. I think I might actually do some more gold grinding in general. And next week when I stream, I'm hoping it's gonna be an over the top ridiculous amount. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely get all those up. I also needed to do that gold grind just so I could upgrade all my skills. As you can see, some of them I left intentionally. I'm going to come back and top those off much later because first playthrough, they're not needed. Most of the skills are not needed. The only real good skill in this game outside of identification and trade is the sorceress's lycanthropy. You turn into a werewolf. Your health and mana numbers are swapped, and you do more damage. I think there's like an accuracy boost or something like that. And I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Because I always keep saying lycanthropy, but I know that's not it. I found out it's lycanthropy, where you can turn into a werewolf. And that one is, if you play as the sorceress, if you play the wizard class, the female character, because the male character for that class can't use lycanthropy. Instead, what they have for their skill is a spell you can get, which is completely and utterly pointless. And that spell is detection, where if you load up your map, you can find stuff. And the other thing is, and I'm sorry I'm redirecting here, I'm just sputtering a million things at once. I can't drop this crystal and save my game and turn my console off. Because this game is bad for despawning shit when you load up the game. I had to start playthroughs over because I would drop my crystal, save my game, leave, come back, and then my crystal's gone. Disappeared into the void. Softlocks. So, if you're going to save your game, do not drop items. Oh, and if you save your game, also, do not save in town if you use the town portal to get to town. Because if you're far into the game, you'd have to... Imagine having to go through, at least 7 different loading screens to go back to where you were at in the level. And taking all that time. And this game is also notorious for its bad loading times, too. Trust me, there are some things where it takes like 15, almost 20 seconds just to load. But yeah, if you use a town portal and you go to town and then you save your game and turn your console off, yeah, don't do that. Your town portal will despawn and you have to hike back the hard way. Yeah, weirdly enough with this game and its memory in that sense, it's not great. Like I said, it's on a technical level not a good game. It functions, it works. Yeah, you're gonna have some exploits, you're gonna have some bugs, you're gonna have some glitches and stuff like that. That's expected in games, especially even if it's porting a PC game onto PlayStation. You're going to get the bugs. You're going to get the changes. You're going to get some weird things. But this game is special because it's got special weird things. It's got special weird good things. It has its pros and it has its cons. But yeah, all I wanted to do this week was give a brief introduction into Darkstone. Next week, I'm probably not going to do as much commentary, and if I do, it's literally just going to be more compare and contrast stuff. But, oh, speaking of compare and contrast, there is another big significant difference with the PlayStation and between the PlayStation and PC versions. So, the PC version, there are 4 lands throughout the whole game. On the PlayStation version, there are 8. Because on the PC version, even though there are 4 worlds, there are 2 quests per world on the PC version. And what they did for the PlayStation version was they just took each quest and just separated it with its own land. You have a land hub, and then you have like the level hub, and then there's like other things depending on the quest for said level. And it kind of needs all the space. Like, they really, like, I think it's because of the memory on what can only load, because, you know, it can only load so much at once. And I think that's why they had to split it up into 8 lands. Not to mention the last land of the game, Surkesh. Or Surkish. Or I pronounce it either or. I don't know what the real pronunciation. Some of the pronunciations in this game are weird. I still to this day try to figure out how to pronounce it correctly. And I do apologize if I am butchering it. I really do. I'm trying not to butcher it, but the last land in the game, the land of Surkesh, or Surkish, whatever. On the PC version, there are enemies in the land. On the PlayStation version, there is nothing. No enemies. It's just an open land of nothing except the pedestals to put the crystals, to reconstruct the time orb, and the level entrance. That's it. There is a lot of things that I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But like I said, I just wanted to give a brief introduction. There's going to be a lot more quests I'm getting done next week, trust me. But I also need to get a better chair because my ass hurts. Oh. I like this pickle bucket, don't get me wrong, but I also hate it so much. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sitting on that anymore. I'm not sitting on that anymore. I'm kneeling on this. Oh, that feels so much better. Okay, I'm kneeling on this. We're winding down now. We are winding down, but I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Seriously, I am definitely excited to continue with this game. Absolutely. Like I said, this game is nostalgia for me. This is like when it comes to RPGs in general, I'm pretty sure this is like the first RPG I've ever played in my life. It really is. I mean, it is one. It's a good game. It's a bad game, but it's a good bad game. It's a clone. It's a Diablo clone. If you couldn't tell, clearly reminiscence of Diablo. But it's a good clone. There's a huge reason why I say, yes, it's a Diablo clone, but it's a good Diablo clone. A lot of the other Diablo clones are pretty, blatantly bad. Yeah, Darkstone's blatantly bad, don't get me wrong, but there is another one, and that game is called Fate on PC. And that's another RPG that I love playing as a kid. I even did a Let's Play of that years ago. Or tried to start doing a Let's Play at the time, and I think I canceled it because it was not getting real views. And even if this doesn't get real views, I don't care. I'm playing this game for the fun of it. How often do you see people streaming Darkstone on PlayStation 1 in 2025? Or any game like this of this particular era? Because a lot of it's either modern stuff or classic stuff we all grew up with and we all recognize and love. But all I'm doing is going through the stuff that I own. And only the stuff that I own. And this is definitely one. But yeah, for the next couple of episodes, it's going to be Darkstone. I probably will... I'm trying to think here. I might mix it up, maybe, and do a Forza stream, but I want to at least get through this first, and then I'm going to do another Forza Motorsport 6 stream, and do another endurance race for you guys, because I like the endurance races. Those are pretty fun. And it gives me, like I said before, it gives me a reason to do them. But with this, it's like, I really want to play through with this game. For next week, though, I'm going to let my gameplay just speak for itself and let you watch and enjoy the beautiful sounds of the game. But other than that, like I said, I want to thank everybody for watching. Don't forget to find me. If you're looking for social medias, I'm on Tumblr and Discord at Grumpy Kerber. That info is in the description. I want to thank everyone for watching. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys next week for a hell of a lot more Darkstone. But like I said, just consider this as a brief introduction. You know, get through the first quest, get the first crystal, because now we're gonna really delve deep, and I'm gonna really just jam pack a bunch of stuff. I also really do need to get a better chair, though. I'm hoping I can get one next week. That'd be really nice if I can find one. But no, other than that, I want to thank everyone for watching. You guys have a good rest of your weekend, and you take care.